Do tiny bags really need organizers? What's the point? Why would you want one? Are they worth it? Well, don't write them off so fast. Stay tuned and see what I found out. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, and there's a dog who wants to get in my chair. Come on, Roxy. Hello, Roxy. Hello, Roxy. So as I was saying, my channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from high-end luxury designer brands down to the everyday luxuries of life. In my last video, I talked about giant organizers for giant bags, and we're going to the opposite end of the spectrum with this video, tiny organizers for tiny bags. If you like this kind of content, please make sure you subscribe and click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos so you don't miss anything. Also, be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. Okay, I have four organizers to talk to you about today that go with 4 different bags. So let me show you what those are. I have this organizer for the Louis Vuitton Pochette accessoire. I have this organizer for the Louis Vuitton Eva clutch. I have this little organizer for the Louis Vuitton Toiletry 15. And I have this teeny tiny organizer for the Louis Vuitton Mini Pochette. Let's start with the largest organizers that seem a little more reasonable and move down to the tiniest ones that we're all thinking, what? Why would you need an organizer for that? I want to point out first that these 3 organizers are all from the same company. It's Zumoni. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, and I will link their website below. And I purchased all of these myself. None of them were given to me. And then this organizer is from Nelly Z, and I ordered it off of Etsy from their Etsy shop, so I'll link that below too. And if I can find any of these on Amazon, then I'll link them there. Remember that the Nelly Z one took a while to get here because it was shipped from Saudi Arabia. I don't remember how long the Zumonis took. All right, the Pochette accessoire. This is my most used piece. Well, this and the Toiletry 15 out of all 4 of these pieces. And I use this as my catch-all. Let me take the scrunchie out so you can see all the stuff that's in here. And for me, it works really well without an organizer, but I have sometimes thought, you know, it'd be nice to have more pockets in here. I'm gonna go ahead and take everything out. So when I found these tiny organizers, I thought, you know, there's a good chance that these are gonna end up being a waste of money, but I'm in this position with this channel where I like to do research for you guys, and if there's something that I'm interested in, I can not only try it out for myself, but try it out for you to save you time and money. So that's what we're doing today. All right, the Pochette accessoire new model is a big open space, and it does have this one slip pocket. The old model doesn't have a pocket at all inside. So here's the organizer for it. There are no pockets on the outside, and inside it has the one big compartment. Has 2 slip pockets on that side and 1 big pocket on that side. Here's how it fits inside the bag. When I first put it in, I thought that I would like it to be a little more snug because there's room on both of the outside edges there. Like, it could be more of a perfect fit. It's really a little too thin to fit this perfectly. However, I found that it was kind of nice. It sort of creates 2 extra big pockets that go the whole length of the bag. So let me put my stuff in it and let's see how it looks. Now, there are different ways that I could put my things in here, but here's the way I just put it in. Let's go over real quick before we get into more detail. There are 3 big benefits to having these organizers, whether they're for bags or for these small pouches. 1, it helps organize the things in your bag, but 2, it also helps keep the interior of your bag clean. So like if you have something in the bag, let's see, a pen that opens up or some liquid that spills, that gets onto your organizer before it seeps through onto your lining. So it does help to preserve your bag, and that's especially nice if you have expensive bags like these designer brands. And number 3 is that it gives it structure and shape, whether it's while you're carrying it and using the item, or if it's in storage and you just have the organizer in there when it's in storage to help keep the shape. That's a really good benefit, and that often makes it worth having one of these, even if you don't find them that functional as organizers. Let's see, a pen that opens up or some liquid that spills, that gets onto your organizer before it seeps through onto your lining. So it does help to preserve your bag, and that's especially nice if you have expensive bags like these designer brands. Now with these small pouches, belt organizers do tend to have some thickness. So one of my concerns with these is the thickness of the organizer going to take up so much room in these small bags that it would make it not worth it. The conclusion I've come to using these is that it really just depends on what you're carrying, because that can be a con for sure, but having those two pros, those two advantages to having an organizer could outweigh the cons depending on what you're carrying. So I was able to fit everything that I just had in there in here, and it does help organize. Before, I had my tissues in the side pocket that's built into the bag. I have them in the same spot here, but then I had everything else in that big compartment. So like to get to my pens on the bottom, I had to move a bunch of stuff over. Things were stacked in a way that made them fit, and sometimes it was difficult to get to things on the bottom, or if I'd take something out, other things would fall over. Now if I take out my clay, for example, that I have in one of the large pockets there, everything else stays in the same place. So it really does help with that organization. In this case, it makes it a little more difficult to get to my pens way down at the bottom in there, but it makes it easier to get to my nail clippers, for example. Or this is a little tin of mints. So it does keep those organized better. So pros and cons. Now for the Eva clutch. This bag is one big open space. There's no organization at all. Here's the organizer for it. No pockets on the outside. Just like the last one, we have two pockets on one side and one big pocket on the other side, and then the big open compartment. Now when I carry the Eva clutch, I usually have it as an evening bag, and I carry the bare minimum. So I might take this wallet, but I might downsize to a card case depending on how much I'm carrying. Probably have my keys, my cell phone. I usually carry a pen with me, reading glasses, and a scrunchie. I often will go somewhere with my hair up and then take it off, and I need a place to put that. And that, it doesn't fill the bag. The Eva's a surprisingly spacious bag. You can fit a lot into it even though it's so small. So that's everything I might carry in an evening. Let's see how it looks with the organizer. And this organizer was made specifically for this bag. One of the things that I was a little concerned about when I ordered it and when I got it is the Eva clutch is kind of trapezoidal, so it's wider on the base than it is at the top, but the organizer is rectangular. So I didn't know how well that would fit. Here's the organizer inside the bag. The fit is pretty snug. It's maybe even a little bit too long, but one thing that's nice about it is that because it's so snug and you sort of push it against the outside edges to get it to fit really well, it naturally, when the bag is unzipped, opens up so you can get to the things in the center pretty easily. Let's put my things in it. Now with this one and the things that I carry, the organization is pretty much the same as it is without the organizer in it. I have everything in that big main compartment except my cell phone. I put that in the side pocket. I do like having my phone separated because then the keys won't scratch it, but I wish that the keys were separated from my expensive Chanel wallet so that they wouldn't scratch that either. Now I could just take my house key and my car key off and put those in one of these small pockets, and that would lessen the bulk too. And I neglected to mention, each of these Zumoni organizers comes with this little piece that matches the color of the organizer that you got. And it's a little card holder, so you could downsize even more, even if you don't have a card holder like the ones that I have. You could just put a couple of the cards that you really need in here, or you could slip them into the little side pockets that are built into the organizers. Now something that I do sometimes carry are little band-aids, some flat things like that. My clippa, I have that in my Pochette accessoire right now. So my clip, it's a bag hanger, and I could put that in one of those side pockets and keep it separated. That would work really well. And I can still zip it up easily, and the bag still looks great. It doesn't look too bulky, the zipper's not wonky, so it does work really well, and it protects the interior of the bag. Now for the Toiletry 15. I'm moving things around a little bit in these pouches. You just saw that I had my pills in the Pochette accessoire. I switched things up some in my pouches depending on what I'm carrying when, and sometimes I do carry my pills in here. So this is how it looks with no organizer in it. I have a card case with my healthcare cards, my pill case, a hand sanitizer, there's a lip balm under there, and there's also a little Swiss Army knife. And here is the organizer for the Toiletry 15. It has one big pocket, no pockets on the outside, and then it has a slip pocket on either side. Now, the interior of the Toiletry 15 is wipeable, and that's one of the great things about it. So I tend to keep things that could spill in there, like the lip balm and like the hand sanitizer. Here's how the organizer looks in the Toiletry 15. I think it fits really well. It doesn't push out on those sides that are supposed to be concave and push into the bag. And you also can't see the edges, which I think is important on this piece because of that wipeable lining. I've seen older toiletries where that lining can peel, and I don't want anything there that's pushing against it, scraping against it. So a nice soft felt organizer with soft rounded edges like this works really well in this piece. Let's see how my things fit. I've got my card case. That does not fit this way in those side pockets. It's just a little bit too long. So I'd have to put it in the center, or I'd have to put it on the outside edge. If I put it on the outside edge so that I leave room in the center for the other objects, but now the corners of the card pocket are pushing against that lining a little bit. It's not as soft as the organizer is. Without the organizer, I didn't have so much in it that it stuffed it, and I'm worried about those corners. But with the organizer, I might be. Another thing I worry a little about is the corners on this type of lip balm. Now you could just get like a round lipstick shaped one where you don't have that problem, but this is the one that I use. Okay, everything is in here now. I've got my card case down there, the hand sanitizer, the lip balm, and the pills, and then the little Swiss Army knife there. So it all fits that way. The problem is that I'm not sure I'll be able to zip this up really well. Okay, I did get it zipped, and the zipper's not wonky. However, you can see how wide this is here. It's pushing out on the sides. I think you can really see it right there. And I'm not a fan of that. So this might be a situation where I want to take the pills and put them in my Pochette accessoire, move everything else to the center compartment like that. I still have the card case on the outside edge, and let's see how that looks. It's still bulging a little bit on the edges. So this is a case where for me the organizer doesn't work as well in here as if I didn't have an organizer. It's just that the thickness of the organizer takes up too much space considering the things that I want to carry in it. Now for the mini pochette and the organizer that I think is just the most absurd, or the bag that I think it's most absurd to have an organizer in because it's just so tiny. Seems like this would take up all the space in the bag, but let's see. This organizer is very similar to the Toiletry 15 one. They are pretty much the same size. The Toiletry 15 is just a little bit taller, and the Toiletry 15 here is wider. The layout is the same. It has the center compartment and then two slip pockets on the sides. So that's the difference. Now let's put it in the mini pochette. Here's how it fits in the mini pochette. It is kind of short for the bag, which I don't think is a problem, but it fits well. It fits snugly. Now people use the mini pochette for lots of different things. For me, I use it as a key pouch because I have two bulky sets of keys. I have to cover up personal information here, but I have my work keys with two ID cards, like one's an ID card and one gets me in the door. And then I have my main set of keys with my car key, my house key, and a few other keys that I use often. And I carry both of these every day. I don't like just throwing them in a bag because I don't want them to scratch the nice things that I have in my bag. So I tend to put them in the mini pochette. But then I wondered about, are they going to scratch the interior on that? So I thought maybe having an organizer would help to protect the interior. What I've been doing is putting my keys, my big set, into the center compartment there, and putting my work set that has the ID cards on it in one of the side pockets. And I have this lanyard on it that sticks out. And often when I have a bunch of pouches in a bag, I leave the pouches open so I can just reach in and grab things. So for me, it's not a problem that this doesn't quite fit and it has to stay open in my bag. Of course, for other people with other uses, you might have a problem with that. But this is how it looks. So I've got my big keys in the big compartment, my work keys in a side compartment, and that has worked out really well for me. I actually like having the organizer in here. It both keeps my keys organized in two separate areas, and the main reason I want it protects the interior of the mini pochette. I'm very curious what uses you have for the mini pochette. If you have one, what do you carry in it? How do you use it? Do you use it as a mini bag, as a pouch in bigger bags? What do you keep in it? I feel like I've never seen anybody or talked to anybody who just keeps keys in theirs, but this works really well for me. Anyway, let me know how you use your pochette in the comment section below, or if you have some other small pouch, tell me how you use it. I'm curious. So overall for me, these tiny organizers for tiny bags are kind of hit and miss. It really depends on how you're using that bag and how much you're carrying it, whether it would be worth it for you or not. What do you think? Are there any that you would consider purchasing? Let me know in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and that this was helpful. Remember to like, subscribe, and click that bell. See you back next time. Have a fantastic day. Bye.